Good morning, everyone. Can you see me? The sun is coming up. You're going to hear Tashir in the background. She is playing with Solomon and running around, and she has burrs all in her again. So, uh, it's horrible. So, as the sun comes up, this will probably get lighter and lighter and lighter, hopefully. But I wanted to do this video early, get it out there because I have so much to do today. And as soon as Tashir gets put up, then the husband is coming out. I'm going to show him what trees to cut, and then I'm going to let the girls out. So it's kind of like about timing. So I figured I'd get this done first because the sun really isn't up to where my chickens really care. So we got to get this done. That's all. My beef vegetable soup turned out really, really good. I got all of my fruit frozen for my drinks yesterday, unpackaged, got them frozen. Um, so we're gonna have soup again tonight, and I don't know. Uh, I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying to figure out my breakfast again. I'm actually thinking towards doing a drink this morning once I get Tashir in. I'll make my drink, go get my husband, and I'll drink it while we're marking trees to cut. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. I am so tired of those girls getting up in the tree. And last night there was a third bird up there, and it was one of my Indio giganto roosters. And I like to never got him down. My girls are getting used to me putting the stick up there and them stepping on it and me lowering them down so they can get a real good fly off the tree. He had no idea what to do, and his legs were this long, and he was like, and it took me forever. I was standing on that old rod, that old cast iron chair out there, and it's a bouncing while I'm trying to do this, and I have a tree, and I'm trying to, oh my gosh, I thought I was going to die. But anyway, let's go on. So I decided to do hate speech is free speech, take two. Because apparently some people think that I'm saying that it's okay to have hateful speech. Well, the problem is there is no law against hate speech in this country. I would like to refer you back to Tucker Carlson, Ted Cruz, and Megyn Kelly as three examples of people that you may identify with when they explain to you what and why hate speech is considered free speech. Or go back into Charlie Kirk's teachings and he will tell you the same thing. There is a quote. You'll have to look it up. I'm just saying, I don't use hate speech as being hateful. I want someone to say someone, I want someone to die, or that's a good thing, or it's karma. Well, it could be karma, but I'm not going to say that. I will say I do not condone people being assassinated or murdered. Period. Okay? But I'm not going to celebrate the life of someone who was so hate filled about blacks and women and brown skinned people, immigrants. I'm not going to talk great about someone who said that we had to have casualties when he was speaking about children being slaughtered in school. Do you understand that? I'm not going to celebrate someone like that. Someone that said that Joe Biden needed to be executed. No, I cannot celebrate someone like that. I refuse. Wanting to take the rights of women to vote? Oh, now you're starting to get political. Because here's the problem. You have combined your religious ideologies with your political ideologies, and that is against the Constitution. So he is not a constitutionalist. He is a white Christian nationalist. No, I do not agree with Charlie Kirk's teachings. I do not believe that Jesus had a hand on his shoulder, and I don't believe that he has a hand on Trump's shoulder either. Those two people did not teach or talk the way that Jesus Christ told you to be. Period. However, a lot of people were triggered in my comments. Before I even go to those people and talk a little bit, I'm going to say that Janet Williams educated me. She is a black woman. I fight for her rights, but I don't know how it is to live in her skin. But I fight for her rights. I talk out about her. Every time Charlie Kirk spoke, he was hateful to black women. They don't have the capacity, the mental capacity. Talking about Martin Luther King and called him an evil person and that it was wrong to have civil rights. I understand where she's coming from, but I don't live in her skin. But I will fight for her rights. And she educated me in the comments. Thank you, Janice Williams. Thank you. I appreciate it. Because I hope you see that I don't agree with it. But then we have comments. And we have like Grant Johnston. And I'm wondering if is he from the Little Johnstons, that TV show on Lifetime, the little people. Is he one of them? Grant Johnston? I'm just wondering. Okay, so I'm going to refer you personally to Tucker Carlson, just in case you didn't know his last name, Ted Cruz. Do you know who he is? And Megyn Kelly. Do you know who she is? Go to those three people as a source, look it up, Google it, find out what they have said recently about what Bondi said about they're going after hate speech, and it's not the freedom of speech. It's not. Go to those three people, please, because I don't want to take the time. Oh my gosh. Let's see. There was one, Western Wilson. I don't know. Uh, all I wanted to say to you was what they are doing is deciding what is hate speech. If you disagree with Trump, that's hate speech, right? If you make fun of Trump, that's hate speech. That's not hate speech. That's a criminal king with thin skin who cannot take the criticism. Do you know how many people I saw talk about Joe Biden and made up these horrible stories? I mean, my God, Congress had him throughout his whole term, trying to impeach him in Congress, wasting our tax money to find nothing. Look how they went after his son. How many of you, MAGA, have guns, but also have drug addiction, alcohol addiction, and probably some sort of mental disorder, and you got a gun because you said no on the form? How many of yous? Let's not be hypocritical, right? Okay. There was someone, and I don't think I wrote the name down, said that hate speech is a crime against humanity. No, it's not. It's having a go at someone and they don't like what you're saying about them. Now, defamation is different. And there are so many points to defamation, none of the hate speech would meet those criteria. Just telling you. Let's see, what else was it? Oh yeah, there was a whole bunch of stuff. But what I'm going to talk about is what is crimes against humanity and our Constitution. The ICE and the bounty hunters, what they are doing to people with brown and black skin. That's inhumane. That's against humanity. Disappearing people without due process. That is a crime against humanity. Women giving birth in detainment centers with their legs and arms shackled on the floor. That is a crime against humanity. Treating people less than humans. That, my friend, is inhumane. A crime against humanity. All of these crimes are against our Constitution. So in the end, when power shifts, people are going to be held accountable for these crimes. Bombing boats off the edge of Venezuela without due process. That's murder. That is a war crime. That is a crime against humanity. Saying that Trump is a narcissistic piece of shit is not a hate crime. Because it's true. Because it's true. Okay, I'm going to stop this for just a minute because I also saw something else I want to talk about really, really quickly. Let me get a drink. Okay. The South Lawn is going to host a UFC fight. If you don't see something wrong with that, you are mentally challenged. Just like when he was selling Teslas as a car lot on the White House driveway. That is a spectacle. What would you have done? I mean, he also put up 2 huge flagpoles, which were unnecessary. But anyway, fake fighting with an unserious fake White House administration and president, criminal king, which that's what we have here. He turned the Rose Garden into a club, and we fund that club while the oligarchy, the wealthy, those that are buying in and making millions off of your back, and you're feeding them steaks, caviar, champagne. You'll never get invited to the club. What the hell is going on at the White House? But that's not it. We also are going to get this wonderful ballroom. The ballroom where people can come and celebrate and dance all night on your back, your tax money. Just saying. And you know that took down trees that had symbolism. And I'm very upset I never heard about the trees that were going to be destroyed, because I definitely would have spoke out about it before it happened. And I am surprised that no one stepped up saying that these are historical. They're historical trees. 200 years old with symbolism planted by someone of purpose, for purpose. What the hell is going on? What? What else are we going to fund? Oh, wait a minute. There's a jet, right? We have to get it to Air Force One accommodated, and Trump gets to take it home with him. There you go. For those MAGA people who said they were fiscally interested in Trump's policies, which, okay, whatever. Guess what? Were you into this? Turning the White House into a spectacle? Are you into making him the most wonderful flying palace ever? Oh my God. and accusing someone of stating exactly what some MAGA people are stating, that hate speech is free speech, you want to tell them that's not so. And you're okay with the rest of this. So they're putting stuff in front of you to argue with while they're doing this, and you're not paying attention. We have an arts and crafts criminal king in the office, okay? He's not running the show. He sold off all of these positions so that he can just play king. I can play king. They're going to let me redecorate and paint and do arts and crafts, play with my bulldozers and my big trucks. And then afterwards, invite all of these wealthy guys that are letting me do this to have steak and caviar and lobster and champagne all night long. MAGA, I know that you're in a cult, and I know that it's very hard to step out of that. But if you're not listening and you're not paying attention to what's going on right now, you have to pay attention now. There's no chance without it. The midterms are coming. Places are putting their votes in. And I'm telling you what, if you allow this to continue and you vote red throughout the midterms, I just don't think that you have the brain capacity to understand what's going on. And you want to lash out at people that's trying to tell you. We're losing our First Amendment rights. You think it's not going to apply to you. Keep it up, because it will. All right, you all have a great day. Hugs from a distance. I have trees to mark. Oh my goodness. Hear that? You want to hear them howl? Howl! Howl! All right, you did great. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. You did a great job. Y'all have a great day. Hugs from a distance. Get out there, talk to people, get them to vote. Last night I had a couple come by, and they're not happy with what Trump is doing because it's affecting them. They asked me how I voted this last election, and I said on the right side of history. So y'all have a great day. Hugs from a distance.